Hi again. In a previous tutorial we searched and sorted ADs for November 82488. It's a Cessna 182. In this video we will show you how to enter annual inspection data and get a logbook entry for the various logbooks after an annual. The videos are brief, and more information you can be derived at http://aircraft-inspection-software.com website. At that website you can download an installation guide, a user's guide, or a free 2-month evaluation copy of the software. Okay, so suppose we've evaluated the AD compliance for the aircraft and determined that all ADs are up to date, and we've completed the visual inspection required by Part 91 and defined in Part 43, and we determined that the airplane passes the inspection, and we now need to record the data that we gathered during the inspection, and we need to create logbook entries. So the question is, how does aircraft maintenance program AM Pro help us with this task? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the bottom first, and we're going to see that the aircraft that we're currently working on is 82488, the 182, and we're going to go to the inspection, and we're going to enter a new annual inspection. And what we see here is that the ELT battery date is unknown, and it's warning us that we need to have up-to-date ELT batteries. If it knew the date, it would check the date against the current, but since it doesn't know the date, it's just warning us that they're out of date, or that the date's unknown. So what we're going to do here is come in. The takt time was taken off of the first page that we saw when we started the program. The inspection date is today's date. That can be moved back or forth as necessary, depending on whether you're creating the logbook entries the day after the inspection actually took place. That would be done, if you'd actually done the inspection on June 2, you could do it that way. But we'll take June 4. The ELT battery, let's say that it's due in April of 2018. So we enter that, and then we would indicate that the ELT was functionally tested. The all ADs were complied with was already previously checked, because the program went into the AD database and made sure that all ADs had been ADs had been downloaded within the last week, and that there were no ADs in the need compliance web page section. So with the ADs complied with, we can certify or not that the aircraft was airworthy. If we do not certify that the aircraft was airworthy, we can enter a logbook entry here, and the program will see that it was not certified as airworthy, and it will create the correct verbiage in the logbook entry for a failed logbook entry, or for a failed annual inspection. We'll certify that it was airworthy. We will then we could enter optional data here if we'd done some amount of minor work and we didn't mind having that work included with the annual inspection report. For example, if we changed ELT batteries, we might just type it right here. Then we're going to have a section right here for each engine. This airplane only has one engine, and it tells us that it's the front engine, and tells us that it's Continental 0470-R. Gives us the total time and the time since major overhaul. And then we can put in the compression. So let's say that it was 77 just for example. We clicked that we've timed the magneto, that the engine was in airworthy condition otherwise, and we can indicate that the prop was in airworthy condition. We could also add a little logbook entry for this engine, and at that point we can save and view the logbook entries. Now you may only be able to see a portion of the logbook entry because of the framing in the video presentation software. But you can see that we've created an annual inspection for this aircraft, and it's indicating the date of the ELT battery. The ELT was inspected, and the total time and takt time. These can be printed on labels and then signed and sent to the signed and installed in the logbooks. If there were 2 engines, we would have an additional engine log entry. So that is the process. If we can enter this data, we can edit an existing inspection. Let's say that we were only partway through and we were recording some portions of it, and we still had to do a logbook entry, or we still had to enter some compression. We can start the logbook entry, and then we can come back and modify it later on. Let's say that the compression on this was really 72. We could modify it, and we could resave the logbook entry. So that is the way that an annual inspection logbook entry can be created after the annual inspection is completed. And if you there is I should say that if the airplane is experimental, the logbook entry verbiage is different than if it's a certified, and if it's doesn't pass, it takes a standard logbook entry for a failure, and you can then add information on that. So the program handles logbook entries in that way, and if you have need for more information, you can go to aircraft-inspection-software.com, and at that web page you can get the user's guide and an installation guide or an evaluation copy. Thanks for listening. The next discussion will be on maintenance. The aircraft maintenance tracking program also tracks scheduled and corrective maintenance, and that can be that is the topic of the next discussion.